So today, everything is going to be about AI, and we will cover, the Marfeel Copilot that was enabled a couple of weeks ago and rolled out to every single account. We will cover like lots of different use cases. And also we will get into actionability with a new module to be released, which we call Editorial Insights. So today, it's going to be like, I hope you like the presentation, but yeah, without further ado, we will get started with Copilot. So Marfeel Copilot, and we will be using today one of our customers' accounts. So thanks a lot to the Grupo Nación people from Costa Rica for letting us use it. And yeah, so as you may all know, Marfeel has like a lot of AI in lots of different places. The good thing is that every single aspect and feature that we have around AI is built at the platform level and on top of the same foundations. So today I'm going to be covering like some easy features that you might already be familiar with and lots of others that were released like a couple of weeks ago. So the first thing that I want to show you is the contextual help. So which is, believe it or not, part of our AI solution. So for example, in case that you want to know what audience loyalty funnel is or how it's described, you can always click here. And that's going to take you to the documentation page. Okay, that's part of our community page. Or if you want to know like details on traffic source, you can go there and you can just expand into the images. This window has been like revamped and there's been like a lot of work done on our academic window. And again, it's a mechanism to browse the documentation. So another thing that we've got around Copilot is that, and again, that's not news, but basically when you get into the into an article details, and let's look at which article we can open. Again, let's filter for La Nación, for example, and I'm going to try to open this one. Okay, so that random article, but I see that it's been posted on WhatsApp just recently, and we can go into Copilot. And this is going to give me follow-up stories. It's going to give me headlines. It's going to give me a ton of different things just for you to optimize those articles. Now, this is also available as part of the heads-up display. So if I open like the heads-up display, this is I'm on the page, and I can see here that I can execute Copilot contextually. Something that I want to show you, and we are going to be we will be focusing a lot, is on the Chrome extension. To open the Chrome extension, you need to go on Google and type Marfeel Chrome extension, and you will be able to install it. And then to open, you can just click here, and this is now opening the Chrome extension that it's going to be like a side window working for me. So the first thing that has happened when I open it is that the heads-up display moves into the sidebar, and I can see that I have like a minimal view on the compass view. So here you can see the articles with the top traffic. I can also see all the information that I would have like on the heads-up display, and it's just embedded here on the side. But the nice thing is that this sidebar, given that it's a Chrome plugin, okay, you can enable it from here. You can toggle it on and off. Once I toggle it, I can go into any random site. So let's go to the BBC, which is not a customer of us. But what we can see is that I still have this contextually. I can see my traffic. Everything works. You can go into settings and just adjust your own filters. And you can also go heads-up display. Obviously, that is not going to provide you any information because we don't have any information about the BBC. The interesting part that we are going to be focusing on today is the Copilot tab. On Copilot, you can see here that there is a tab. You click here, and our good friend Copilot is also here. So you have Ask AI. You will see what this is. We can ask ideation questions. We can ask, I don't know, for headlines. We can ask lots of things. So I'm going to scroll through. I'm not going to get into politics today. So I don't know. Let's take this article, for example. That's science article, and it's speaking about something for our brains. Okay. The first thing that I want to do is, again, this is the BBC. This is not a customer of us. This you can do it right now as I'm speaking on your own computers. I want a summary of this article. So I'm going to ask the system, and let's see if we are lucky. And it gives me a summary, so I don't have to read the whole article. Or imagine that this was breaking news, and you want to see, you are the chief editor, and you want to see, what is this about, and if you want to cover it. And you see that despite the article being in English, I'm getting the leading paragraph in Spanish. This is because the account that I'm using, it's set up in Spanish. So you can use also Marfeel Copilot just to make everything available And you can translate and understand other properties that maybe you don't speak English or you don't speak any other language. The other thing that we can do, for example, is just understand what good headlines could I use in case that I want to replicate these articles, giving it a twist, right? So that would give me like alternative headlines that I could be using in this case in Spanish. And also if I go into ideation, obviously I'm not going to replicate the same article, but I want to see, okay, this article might be working like on Discover or on search. So I might ask, hey, give me expansion ideas and follow-up stories on the BBC article that I can cover myself, okay? Not to replicate or to copy this, but just to inspire and see which tangential topics I could be covering along the lines. Now, the most important thing is that if you go and publish something about the Cholin, okay, which based on what I've seen has to do with X, on what I've read, what you might want to decide first if you have some kind of authority or if you've covered similar topics in the past. So something that I'm going to do here is go into linking, and that is now scanning the entire article base, the thousands, well, actually the millions of articles that our customer has. We've matched, and we are finding related articles that have to do and that are related with the articles from the BBC. So, for example, I see this is how many huevos, this is X in Spanish, and I can see that there is things, and I see the contextual, when I wrote about this, that was back in September 2024, and I got this amount of traffic. So now with the combination of things that I've done, what I can do is just decide on a headline, decide on the continuation or follow-up stories, get some of the ideas there, and start having like cross-link to inherit some of the authority on the topic and go and cover it. Again, you can do this on any site that you want. Again, let's pick another article. So I don't know, let me just try to read and see how all those are videos. Okay, so for example, this is about travel, okay? Where to go in Europe in 2025. So as I click here, what is happening, sorry, I need to refresh this, is that, yeah, this article gets computed. And again, you see that it's giving me everything that I have topics along these lines that I could go and have like a warm start. I don't have to start from scratch. And also it's going to give me ideas on everything that you need. It works on the BBC. It works on any other website that you want to go to. The linking, it's also ideal in case that you are covering breaking news. Imagine that this was a breaking news and you want to see how are you covering this today. So just to make sure that you are also covering the topic that you are reading. The use case that I've been using today, it's because I was reading the BBC. But imagine that I don't want to, I don't know, I don't read the BBC and I just want to be on top of my competitors. So I'm going to close the BBC and I'm going to get back into Compass. And for those of you, I guess that most of you know, but there is a module called Discover Monitoring. And Discover Monitoring, what's going to give us is like, it shows us what's appearing on someone's, on the Google Discover feed in any country that you choose. So for example, I'm going to be looking at the United Kingdom feed as of now on Google Discover. And what I want to check is like, for example, let's look at the last 30 days. Okay, I'm just doing a research on which topics could I be covering. I'm going to go into the last 30 days. And I want to, again, to remove some noise, I want to focus on science. And yeah, that's going to give me some of the, and yeah, maybe we can even focus on the BBC, right? Let's put a filter here and we can go with the BBC. Both .com and .uk. And yeah, so here there is like, I don't know, articles about the NASA, there is articles about the moon, there is articles about a little bit of everything, right? So, and one of the things that we can do, I'm sorry, because I don't know where I clicked, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to open this Titanic article. Okay, this is speaking about, I don't know, Titanic scan reveals groundbreaking details of ship's final hours. So, okay, that has got interesting traffic. I want to see what can I do with it. So I click into it. That's taking me to the BBC. It opens the article, and the only thing that I have to do is replicate exactly the same. So I'm going to check if there is articles that I have, and boom, I have lots of articles speaking about the Titanic, and it has to do, I don't know, it looked like there was an article that had like decent traffic back on time when the submarine crashed, and I don't know, it looks like we've got several things that maybe I can just go and ideate again and create a new article trying to replicate the success that this article has got for the BBC on the science category. So combining both Copilot and the monitoring tool, you can do this from, I don't know, Google Discover monitoring. You can do that also from, I don't know, social discovery, social monitoring in case that you want to do so. Okay, so more things. I don't know, I'm going to take now, again, let me close this. Imagine that, I don't know, you work for the entertainment team, and what you are interested in is on the last 30 days, okay, and I'm interested in the topic Netflix because I like writing about TV shows, and I just want to see what's working for others in Costa Rica. So what I can see here is articles from my competitors or even mine that are covering, like, I don't know, for example, we can take a look at this article about a new movie that has been released. So I can go here and I can just go again into Copilot, see if I'm already covering it or not. Because if I'm covering it already, maybe I can do like a reposting and that would do it. But if I'm not covering that, I can see in the past what has worked along the lines of this. Okay, and I can get everything around it just to understand what works and what doesn't work. One thing that I like a lot is that this article has been successful. And my question is why? So, and most of the editors that we happen to speak with always ask these kind of things. And it's like, hey, why is this article working? And the one that I have that it's pretty similar is not working. So there is a prompt, and we will see like in, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, we will see how to design your own prompts. But there is a prompt called a helpfulness evaluation. This basically takes the Google Playbook and recommendations on helpfulness EAT and evaluates this article, this content. It runs it through ChatGPT and it asks, hey, why is this article good based on those guidelines? And after analyzing it, it's going to tell yes, yes, not, and what could be improved, which is what you are looking for in the end. So it's like, hey, how can I improve? There might be things that might resonate on you and things that might not resonate. Why is this important when you are evaluating a competitor article? Because come on, if this inspires you like tangential topics and you know how you can make better, you are going to win and you have the winning key. So no more hesitation. And yeah, the same way that we have like this pre-made helpfulness evaluation prompt, we are going to take a look at how the prompting works. So let's take a look. I'm going to get back to Marfeel. Let me close some few tabs here and there. So this, we will keep it open. And this, you know what? I'm going to close those two. I'm now back to the platform, and it's like, yeah, I want to know how this helpfulness evaluation prompt was made. Something that you can do is go into our Copilot settings management, and there is a tab here called prompts. In this prompt, in this window, we can see that we can create our new prompts. So Marfeel gives you lots of different prompts out of the box that you can enable or disable at your personal level or at the organization level. But obviously, we allow to create your own ones. So let's take a look at one prompt. Okay, so which is disabled. And actually, we will open this one. Why does this article, the one in context, has good SEO? So how would you do that? Basically, what we need to give is like, to ChatGPT, we are going to tell it, hey, you are the best SEO manager in the world, specialized in news. And apologize, I was not trying to be super professional with this prompt. I was trying to be like a good storyteller, okay? So we are telling ChatGPT that is the best SEO manager in the world, and that we want a detailed explanation on why the provided article works on Google Discover. And we want it to give us hints on how could we improve the content and its structure. So this is the instruction that we are giving ChatGPT, and what we will be providing in context is the article itself. Now, what I want it this prompt is to be available at the article detail level on the editing tab. So as I save it, and what I'm going to do is enable it. Now I can go back to the BBC, for example. I'm going to open Marfeel Copilot, and this has created a new prompt for me. So as I go into Copilot, and remember, we've added it into the editing tab. Okay, so again, let me open it for you. So it's on editing. Okay, that's what this is telling us. I go into editing, and there should be here why it has good SEO. And as I execute this, that's getting the content from the BBC. It's asking ChatGPT, why is it good on SEO? And it's running the prompt that we've just provided. And hopefully that's going to work in a second. It's going to tell us all the improvements that we have to go through and apply into it. Okay, and there we go. So it's got compelling visuals. It has time and relevance. Again, we didn't read this, but apparently this is what it's telling us. It has engaging and informative headlines. It's got expert quotes and credibility. And again, so that comes from this easy prompt that they've put here. So again, imagine what you can achieve if you go and try to do your best. And obviously you will know way better than myself on how to produce a good prompt. But I just wanted to give you an idea on how you can do it. Again, let's do another prompt. So I want to create a print version. Well, actually, we will keep those for us, and we will take a look at it in a second. Okay, so we've looked at how can we analyze competitor content and how can, or even your own content, and analyze it to make it better. Now, something that is great is getting all those hints and all those improvements before you publish an article. And this is why we are making Copilot available into your CMS. I'm logged in on a development environment of a WordPress, but remember that this should be working on your own CMS. And if it's not working, let us know, because we want to have like deep integrations with as many CMSs as needed. So just to prove you that I'm on a WordPress, I'm just going to go to the WordPress and you can see that there's lots of lorem ipsums. And again, this is like a development environment. Let me go back to the article that I had here prepared. And this is like something that I can come here and say, hello world, this is live. And say, yeah, I can write, this is my CMS. And obviously, for example, this is about the solar eclipse, and this is not a good headline. So what can I do now? What I can do is I can come here, I open my Marfeel Copilot extension. It's going to load contextually. And while I'm typing here and I'm writing my story, I can be just monitoring how my traffic is doing. And I can even check other things, okay, about my posts or the site, and just always having on the side the data. But also I have Copilot available here in contextual mode. So I want a headline. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to ask for headlines optimized for Google Discover. That's again, reading it and look at what's happening. The article is in English. I wanted to have something in English for the webinar today, but the account is set up in Spanish. So this is, I'm getting the headlines. If I like this more, because I think it has like the right punch, I can just replace, and that's putting the headline here. Okay, so again, a little bit big, but that's how the styles are set up on this site. Also, what I can do here is that, hey, you know what? All the articles in our publication always have a leading paragraph. So I don't want to draft it myself. So I'm just putting it here, and boom. Copilot has generated the leading paragraph. And also, even before the leading paragraph, I want to have the bullet, the list of highlights. So what you can do is come here, and these are the 3 bullets that Copilot has generated, and we can add them as bullets. So all super good. We've got like a good headline. We've got the bullets. We've got the leading paragraph. And as I scroll down, I see that there is like some, I don't know, some typos here. So what I can do is select, and I'm going to ask AI. Okay, so I'm going to ask Copilot to correct spelling. So that's going to take, I don't know, just a couple of seconds. And it has detected some typos here. You can see the div. So yeah, I'm happy with the replacement. So I ask the system to replace, and we are good to go. And also, you know what? I want to apply some bolding. So again, I select the paragraph, and I'm going to ask the system to add some bolding. It tells me, I don't know, that it's going to do this. And as I replace, you have the bolds in place. and you are good to go. Again, so you see that there is like lots of prompts here, right? So those prompts are the ones that come out of the box. But remember that Marfeel Copilot, the biggest value that we are providing is that it's your own prompt platform. So Marfeel Copilot is able to get like a context. In this case, is this article, okay, the one on the CMS, and it can run it through any prompt that you define. So something that I'm going to do now is go into one of those prompts, okay? So for example, we are going to replicate, well, let's create a print version, okay? This is a prompt that lots of our customers have asked for. And basically is make me a short summary of the article. Make me a version of the article below 500 words, changing the minimum, okay? Again, I don't want it to recreate or to rewrite. I just want it to cut it down to squeeze it on a printed version, okay? So normally like a printed page has like a limit in terms of characters. Again, I don't want to be precise. I just want to be useful in this case. So I'm saving the prompt. Actually, I'm gonna enable it. And when we come here, again, I just need to refresh. So the prompt appears, but this prompt should be appearing on the editing, and we should have somewhere here, create print version. And that's gonna create me, again, it gets the prompt. Okay, so while this is working, it's getting the, it's running, sorry, not the ad bold, sorry, it was this one. So it puts the article in context and runs this prompt with the article in context. And here we've got our version, which again, we should go and read it and make sure that it's working. But again, the most powerful thing that we are doing here is providing you a prompting platform that you can have someone on the newsroom creating those prompts on behalf of every single editor out there, and then sharing them with the entire organization and making those prompts available contextually where you are actually working. And that is important because lots of you work, I don't know, you have a great CMS and you love working on the CMS, but what we've heard is a lot of people prefers working elsewhere, like, for example, on Google Docs or like on Microsoft Word or like, I don't know, elsewhere. So by having Copilot working contextually, what you can do, for example, and this is also another new feature that we are releasing, is that you can go into, I don't know, this is Google Docs, you see, I've prepared this for the webinar. It's the same article that I had on WordPress, but basically I can just open Copilot contextually. That's gonna pick up that this is a document. Again, I can see my traffic contextually in case that this is what you want to do. But you can go here, and I'm gonna ask again, I'm sorry because I'm repeating every time the same, but I'm gonna ask for a headline. Okay, I like this one, and I go and ask it to replace. And I can go and keep doing every single thing that I was doing on WordPress. I can do it on Google Docs, on Microsoft Word, or any other place that you want this to work. So which places does this work? So it should be working on those major CMS. Again, there is more supported CMS that are not on this slide. So if your CMS is not working, let us know, and customer support and customer success is going to assist you getting it up and running. So Arca XP, Brightspot, Shallow, Google Docs, Microsoft Word, WordPress, and also any CMS relying on these underlying libraries, okay? Again, there might be some little features here and there that might not be available because the platform doesn't make them available to us through the extension, but we are willing to work on deep integrations with those CMSs to make everything work like a charm. So again, talk to us to integrate yours, and we will make it happen. Okay, so let's get back to the to the prompt manager. So prompt manager, we've said that Marfeel is like a platform, right? So you design a prompt and it's made available everywhere. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Marfeel Amplify, and Marfeel Amplify is this tool that basically you see that this article is taking off. I don't know, let's take a look at an article that is working on, I don't know, on Google Discover. This is working pretty well. And I might decide, hey, I want to amplify this and I want to distribute it into my own social networks. So, and I have this as a social network, and you see that these are like Copilot suggestions. Okay, so this is like a prompt that comes out of the box with Marfeel that gives you ideas on how to share this article on Facebook. Now, imagine that you don't like our prompt because, I don't know, for whatever reason. So what you can do is, now that we've told you, is that you can come here, and I'm going to use one that I just created just to make it very visual. And what we are going to ask the system is that you are the best social manager in the world. You are great at finding the right trade-off between rising interest without being too clickbaity. Okay, that is important. I don't want to run like, I don't know, a lot of clickbait, but still a little bit. So yeah, because we need clicks. Create an optimized short social post for Facebook using only emojis. And then there is like a suggestion, okay? And we are just providing some information on how to structure the results. Now, once I save this and enable it, this prompt, well, by the way, I'm going to open it again just to show it to you. I'm making this available in the context of everything that has to do with Amplify on Facebook. So now let's take a look if this worked. So I go back to the post that I wanted to amplify. I'm going to take this one, doesn't really matter. So I'm going to publish this to this profile. This is running the default prompt, but now if I just click here, I see the emoji social prompt that I created. So I click on this, and this is now running the other prompt, which is the one that you created. And boom, you see, you know what? I want to publish this based on emojis. It gives me 3 options. And again, the prompt was to make it very visual that it was the prompt that we just created. And you can do anything you want with that in context. Okay, so, but there is like, I don't like this that much, okay, because it's too emoji based. So again, let's make an edit to show you how to do this. So I'm going to go into the organization. I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to using lots of emojis and a little bit of text. I save the prompt, and now we do it again. So, and again, look at the speed of everything. So you don't have to wait. You can be autonomous with this. And I'm going to open this, and we execute emoji social. And now this should be giving me some emojis, but also some more text. Okay, so you just have to find the right balance. The problem, though, is that you are not able to evaluate the quality of those prompts because they're in Spanish, and a lot of people today speaks English. So again, something that I can do, I'm going to go into the prompt manager. I'm going to go into the organization. I'm going to edit the prompt. And here I was parameterizing language. And this is like a variable that we're injecting to the prompts with the language of the account. So I don't want to respect the language of the account. I want to make it in English. So I can just save it again. And hopefully now you will all be able to read whatever I'm amplifying in English. Okay, so again, you will see that the default prompt keeps doing things in Spanish because that was the default prompt. But on the emoji social, we will get lots of prompts, lots of emojis, and everything now is in Spanish. And look at the speed on how you can iterate your own prompts and just bring, I don't know, your editorial practices, your guidelines, your recommendations, everything that you want to put in place. You will see that we will, there is like lots of contextual variables and that you can use just for the replacements. But what we wanted to do is to provide you like a quick overview on the art of the possible and things that you can do. As in summary, on everything that we've seen today is that there is contextual help via the Academy icon. You can ask anything to the AI using the tab of Ask AI, and also you can talk to your data. Okay, so the things that didn't work at the beginning, but I think they are working now. Also, you can run competitor analysis combined with monitoring to understand your I don't know, what can you improve and how you, I don't know, how can you frame your new content and on the ideation phase. And we are providing lots of CMS native flows. Again, if you encounter something that is, I don't know, not connecting the dots, you let us know and we will work together on making it happen. Also, we know that CMS are important, but there is lots of other places where you might want to use Copilot and AI with all the information and all the data from your publication, but in the context of other things. So make sure to have the extension installed, and it's going to work both on Google Docs and Word as in any other place. And last but not least, you need to think about Marfeel Copilot not as a dogmatic set of prompts, but as a prompting platform where you can go and customize and bring your own guidelines and your own prompts on how to do things. So I hope that you like that. And as an exception, we want to provide some visibility on what might be coming in the upcoming releases. Something that we are doing, and this is very API driven, but we are opening very soon structured responses. So it's easier for you to just put together your prompts. And also what you will be able to do is inject the same way that we are injecting like the article context. You might be able to provide, imagine that, I don't know, imagine that you make a query and you say, hey, give me the top articles in Google Discover based on titles. And this, for whatever reason, is a query that you like. So you can get the JSON API call, and you will be able to go very soon into here and just paste. Here is the context selection, but you might be able to provide like a query, inject it directly to the prompt, and have all the articles that are returned by this query as in the context of the ChatGPT prompt. So hopefully this is going to help you optimizing lots of your I don't know, the tone of voice, and say you can infer, like, for example, ask ChatGPT, hey, these were like my top Google discovered articles on this topic. Optimize this article in context based on whatever you learned from those. So very powerful, and that's coming pretty soon as well. Again, I'm not going to get tired of repeating myself, but in case that your CMS is not working, let us know. The idea is to have deeper integrations with every single CMS out there. And obviously, for some of the situations, we will need collaboration from the CMS vendor, but we are happy to work on those. And last but not least, and probably the most important one, we are working on fine-tuning the model to better adapt or adopt the tone of voice of your own articles. Okay, this is something that we keep hearing from you. So we are working on those models just to make them write the same way that you would write. Again, if you are super interested on any of those, talk to your CS manager or to customer support, and they will just listen to your needs, and we will make them happen. Okay, so next topic. Editorial Insights, and this was briefly presented a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, let's get back to Compass. So maybe you realized, let me close this because we don't need those anymore. So we don't need Word, we don't need anything, and I'm gonna get back to Compass. So something that we keep hearing is that lots of times there is insights or actions that should be data-driven, but that it's very hard for people working on the newsroom to be on top of them because there is lots of things going on. So there is always the breaking news, and everyone is very busy writing, distributing, and doing lots of different things. So being on top of every single opportunity, it's complicated. And this is where insights come into the game. So I'm going to filter for one of the domains, and the insights are those little bulbs that are overlaid into some of the articles. What can I get as an insight? So for example, this article has got a lot of social traffic, and it's, hey, to get a little bit of a Google Discover, potentially you should be boosting it in other channels where there is no traffic. So maybe the distribution team can just work and act on it. Again, I can just go and click around, but something that I'm going to do is go into the Insights tab, and I'm going to look at the different things. So for example, this one, it's telling me, this is the one that we were looking at, that you could boost it on different channels. This other one, it's telling me that I could improve the engagement of the content. So probably this article has little engagement time and little recirculation. So by improving this, what they can do is, like, the system is suggesting me a couple of things. The first one is, hey, if it makes sense from an editorial perspective, try to make it longer and see if the scroll depth improves. But we know that lots of times the acquisition articles doesn't make any sense that they are longer. Okay, so they are short things that people want to know. They click, they read 20 seconds, and they bounce. So this recommendation as well, it's telling you to, I don't know, to work on the recommendations that this article has, like higher up on the scroll. So maybe you will get engagement, not because you make this article more engaging, but because you've improved recirculation and the session time increases. Other things, and look, this publisher has a paywall, and this article happens to be open. And the system is making the recommendation to close this article to all users. Why? Because probably what the AI is detecting is that the ratio of loyal and lover users is higher than usual than articles on this same section. So again, you see 3 articles, 3 different recommendations, all really good. So imagine that you go, the system is going to pick up in case that you close the article. And if so, this recommendation will disappear. But imagine that you review and it's like, hey, I disagree. I don't want to close this. You can just basically close it. And Marfeel, the editorial insights behaves as a task manager. So this task is now set up as done, or I could even mark it as done. Oh, sorry, that was rejected. And I can say, hey, this is done because I've done it. And you see, the previous one was gray, rejected. Now this is green because I've done it. I take it. The good news is that every insight that we discover, it's tagged as a tag on the article. So what this means is that then you can go into Explorer and run your own queries by tags, which makes it very powerful to just go and retrospectively analyze all the recommendations that have happened. Those insights, obviously, if we make them available to every single user, what you are going to be complaining is that there is lots of things that, I don't know, maybe you are not in charge of the paywall and it's not actionable for you, which is something that we completely understand. The insights can be toggled on or off depending on the team that the user belongs to. So for example, if you want that the paywall recommendations or suggestions are only visible to the paywall people, you can do that. And also, in case that you don't like a suggestion, what you can do is disable it. How? So there is like a new Insights tab here where you can toggle on and off everything, and where you can even create your own insights. Again, this is a mechanism to tag things. So the idea is that, you can also create insights via API. So imagine that, I don't know, your data team following your own playbooks, and we know that all of you have like your own book, is that you pull out information from Marfeel using our APIs, and you can submit insights via API as well. So the editors or whatever team can just take it from there. And what we do is a task management. As of today, we support like 5 insights, open, close article, and boost onto different channels when we see that they are not where they are underexposed, and also to publish on social networks. Now, obviously, this is the very beginning. This is like a long-term project. This is not yet available. We will be making it available, as you will see, very soon. The issue, though, is that we don't want to get into one of these places like Google Analytics, that it makes a lot of recommendations that nobody pays attention into it because there is a lot of noise. So differentiating the noise from the real information is what is challenging here as a project, and what we will be working together with you all. Now, we wanted to give you visibility on what else is in the open. So, this is what I'm going to cover now. So remember, so Editorial Insights, it's all about data actionability. There is built-in task management. The actions, you can control the visibility on a team-by-team basis. Actions are also tags, so you can just look at data retrospectively and see how you are improving on one aspect or the other. And you can create your custom actions in a manual way or via API. Now, which actions do we have in the radar? So let me show you, because they are very interesting. The first thing that we need to do is understand this graphic. In this graphic, what we are seeing is, on this axis, we are seeing acquisition. On this other axis, we are seeing engagement. And every dot is an article. So this is an article that has got massive acquisition and massive engagement. This is where you want to be. All your articles should be here. But those are not actionable. They are already really good. So congratulations, you've got them. This quadrant here, and let me get into the presentation, just to make it a little bit bigger. This quadrant, it's this one, is stop producing this. You don't have volume, you are not acquiring traffic, and it's not engaging topics. So stop doing that. But there is these 2 quadrants, well, actually those 3 that are very actionable. And these are the insights that you are going to receive. So for example, if you have an article with high engagement, where engagement means time on page, scroll, or recirculation, but there is little acquisition, you will get recommendations to add it to the homepage. if it's not there. And in case of being in the homepage, you will get a recommendation to apply a headline A/B testing, because maybe it's that the headline is not appealing enough. You will also get like a recommendation to add on the recommender module for recirculation on the article details. And also, depending on some aspects, you will get like a suggestion to amplify into other channels, as we are doing as of today. That's these quadrants. Again, super good and engaging articles. How can you make or amplify its distribution? On these ends, really good at acquiring traffic. They are bringing you a lot of traffic, but they are not engaging. What can you do? So basically, it's this. You can make a longer article when it makes sense, but also just work on the recirculation, okay? And this is, remember, we have Amplify for that. In case that you have more actions that you think that you are doing and that you want to automate, let us know. Talk to your CS, give all your knowledge to them, and we will be bundling all those actions and trying to automate them. More cases. In case that you have high engagement and high acquisition from loyal and lovers. Okay, so it's an article that it's getting lots of lovers and loyals. That's pretty good. Our suggestion will be to, actually this is implemented, to close the paywall or create a follow-up story that it's closed, okay? And you put it very high up on the article just to create a funnel. And also we understand, and based on our research, it might make sense to add it into your newsletter just to bring and raise up the interest or the sense of belonging from a subscriber's perspective. Another thing that, another suggestion that is coming is for those articles that are driving high conversions, those ones that bring you a lot of subscribers. So amplify distribution into social networks, into the homepage, all those things are coming, but also, and most importantly, paid social boost. For those articles that bring you subscribers, those articles have a higher lifetime value of your users. You will be able to just boost them on paid social. And last but not least, how can we improve our social distribution? So if we just map on the axis, what is, I don't know, articles that have good acquisition traffic that might be coming from Google, I don't know, traditional SEO or like Google Discover, but have good or bad social CTR. So in case that you have low acquisition and high social CTR, it might mean that you need to fine tune a little bit the broadening, because if you are not acquiring users on social, but it has a big CTR, it means that the viewability on your follower base, it's not good. So probably by broadening a little bit the topic on the article, it's going to help you a lot, and that's going to drive more traffic. And also reposting, okay? If an article has really good acquisition and really good CTR, just repost, which these are things that the social recommender from Marfeel does out of the box. So again, this is not going to be enabled. So it will be enabled only by request. So make sure to ask your CS in case that you want to have access into it. It's not going to be enabled at the account level, but it's going to be something that we enable on a user by user basis. So we can work together, polish the recommendations, and make sure that this is not just noise. So make sure to talk to your account manager. Let them know what your suggestions are, the actions that you want to see in place, and we will make them happen. As we speak, what we are doing is fine-tuning and removing false positives and false negatives. And yeah, that was everything for today. It's still 10 minutes to go, and we can jump into a Q&A. But before that, what I want to make is a quick recap on everything that has been announced during the last 3 weeks. So we announced dashboards. We announced historical monitoring, including Discover monitoring, Explore and API, very big announcement. Also, we've got Amplify, both for social and recommendations. And as we've seen today, we've got Copilot and Editorial Insights. And everything is included on your existing pricing, okay? Well, not everything. Amplify is not included, but you still have lots of weeks to go and free to use. And everything should be included and available to you except for Editorial Insights. But obviously, before going, there's always one more thing. Actually, today, there is 2 more things that we think are important. And just be prepared. Again, talk to your CS in case that, that you want to be involved sooner in the process. We've got a Marfeel certification program ongoing. There is like lots of recordings, very detailed trainings for, I don't know, we know that lots of you have been with us already. We do also have the onboarding sessions, but every now and then you get new editors, new people joining your newsroom, and you want to make sure that everyone is up to date with the how to use Marfeel and how to do, like, I don't know, publishing on today's landscape. We've prepared like tons and tons of videos, just walking you through and walking every user through how to work on a newsroom today and how to do everything from a data perspective. Again, those are already available on early access. So ask your CS to get access into it, and also talk to your CS in case you want to get more understanding, because in the end, it's a training and you might want to certify or not. And last but not least, we think that webinars are good. CS is going to take care and making sure that we run 2 webinars per month, just drilling down into specific use cases, and any topic you want us to cover, let us know today in the Q&A or to your CS manager. And yeah, with that said, I think it's time for Q&A. Let's go for it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Xavi, for all of that. And I'm pretty sure people are excited, and some people are asking how can they get their hand on it. So for sure, it's going to be very important. I will start with Copilot. The team has done a fantastic job to categorize the question we received. So let's start with Copilot Plus. So is Copilot Plus available for everyone? Can I start to use it now? And I saw another question a little bit later that was asking how to enable it.
Yeah, so Marfeel Copilot is enabled to everyone. So you should all have available on our paid plans. So if you're like on a free plan, it's not enabled, but and it's available to pro plans and above. Okay, so it's not on our basic, it's only pro and above. In case you don't have it and you fit on that description, talk to your CS, because there might be an error here or there, and we will enable it as soon as possible. And also there was like an email that we circulated like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, where organizations could opt out in case that they didn't want to see Copilot. Again, if you ask us, we will be able to check it, but this is something that you can go and check on Copilot here and say you might be like opt out from here. So this is something that you will be able to go and check yourself.
Excellent, excellent. Is the extension working on Chrome, or do we support other browser?
For the time being, it's only Chrome. Again, depending on, say, on the activity that we see in other browsers, we will make it available. Again, the best way to prioritize things is to let know your CS, and then we just put together all the requests, and we prioritize on something close to RFV. So recency, frequency, and volume. The more requests we get about a feature from different customers, and the more frequently, the higher priority it gets.
Excellent. This is very important indeed. There is a question about downloading the Marfeel extension. So this is telling me that people really, really want it. So what we are going to do is we are going to paste it on the chat here, and people can just click it and go and download. Otherwise, you do what Xavi is doing live. There we go. So number 1.
Exactly. You just type this, and yeah, so far, look, there's been 4,000 downloads already. And yeah, that's the extension that you need to install.
There is a question in regards, so we're going to go now a bit more deep in the Copilot Plus, and there is a question in regards of the linking and how it works. And can it be used before being the article published?
Yes, absolutely. So in the case, well, I closed WordPress, but whenever you are working from the CMS, it also works. So let me just open give me just a second. I'm opening it. That's opening WordPress. And again, so what we can do is open Copilot. I'm going to open the links. Again, this article is in English. Remember, the publisher that I'm using is Spanish, but I still can go into Copilot. I can go into linking, and that's giving me articles that I have about solar eclipse. I can just come here and say, hey, you know what, link this. And this has already placed a link here. You see the underline. And yeah, it works perfectly. So, and you can also do this, and it works.
But I thought it was an eclipse yesterday, but actually it was last year.
Yeah, that's from last year. So yeah,
I was looking out, but no. We have a question that is in regards of when you were showing their competitor, is like, is there any limit for me to check my competitors' articles. So it's
Sorry,
about,
competitor.
yeah,
No,
yeah, that's the
there
answer.
is no limit. So what we are doing is the access is you can keep going as far as the system considers it fair usage. And fair usage is again, if we detect that you are a bot and you are like making, I don't know, too many requests per second, or like in something that we detect that it's not a human pattern, you are going to be blocked. But if you are using it as a human being, you should be good to go, and that should be included. So no real limit, but it's not meant to be used via API. Okay, so if you use it via API, the system is going to block you. Well, actually, it's going to block the entire account. But the limits are there just to make sure that, I don't know, it's fair usage.
Excellent, excellent. Fair usage. This is the keyword. Do we have a guide about prompt creation?
We should. Now, I don't remember, but the best way to do it is going into Copilot. Again, I'm going to close the extension now. And our good friend Academy, it's going to tell us, you see, this is contextual help from Copilot. And yeah, there should be like advanced prompt management. And you click here. And there should be like documentation on everything. You see the selection, the article, all the context that you can do. And there should be somewhere like example prompts, okay? And again, if that's not good enough, you ask us. But remember that Academy, and this is something that I didn't verbalize, you see, now I'm on Copilot and it gives me contextual information about Copilot or the writer. If I go into Explore, that's going to give me contextual documentation about Explore. Or if I go into, I don't know, Amplify, that's going to give me contextual information about Amplify. So Academy should be always your best friend, because normally something that documentation that you are looking for, you should have it always in context.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is it possible to create prompts that are only accessible to specific users or team within our organization? We covered that, but I think it's worth covering it again because it's very important.
Yeah. So in regards to the question on whether we can restrict who sees an a prompt or not, so you can do it by teams. Okay. So for example, if I go into prompt manager and I go here, you can decide who's going to have visibility. Okay. And this is connected to teams. So this publisher doesn't have any team, but if I go into teams, so you can go into user management teams, you can create your own team, put people on that team. And I guess that if you are working, for example, and you have different hosts, you might be able to create different teams, and you will be able to assign different prompts into different teams. If that doesn't fit your needs, because you still have the same team working on different hosts, let us know and we will make sure to find a solution for you.
Excellent, thank you. Are we dependent on ChatGPT API, or is it possible to connect other LLM APIs too?
So short answer is that we depend. So there is a little bit of intelligence here, okay? And actually, this is not enabled publicly, but there is lots of different models that we can connect to. So the idea is we don't have in our close or short roadmap. We don't want to open this at this time, at this point of time, but internally we might have the options. So again, just touch base with us. Someone from the product team is going to be on the loop, and we will try to understand your needs.
Thank you. So always, when you have those needs, go to your account manager and always express the need to them. We have a question in regard of CMSs. Do you support instances on Brightspot? We are a public media station whose CMS is Grove, which is built on Brightspot.
So the answer is yes. Brightspot is supported. I'm just trying to find the slide.
There we go.
So Brightspot is one of the CMS that we support. Again, there might be features that might have glitches. I think that Brightspot is already used by several of our customers. In case that you see something not working, you let us know, and we will work with Brightspot to just make a smooth integration in case that we need that.
How does the system react against paywall when making analysis?
And that question is too broad. I'm not sure what this means, or if you help me understanding
The team will get the information. Whoever keep asking the question, and we will.
Yeah, so
I
we
have
can
more
do that.
questions, huh?
Okay, so I guess that it's if the article is behind a paywall and we are doing competitor analysis, that you would have to try, because normally what we do is that we get the content, the body of the article, we get it from the DOM, and most of the paywalls don't remove it. So if it's there, we are going to have visibility. If it's not there, good paywalls don't leave the content just underneath the pop-up. The system is going to be blind and it's not going to work, obviously. Okay, we need the content just to make you recommendations.
Okay, so moving on to editorial insights. So everyone is asking, but let's say it again. So when editorial insight is available, is it already available or in the near future?
So Editorial Insights is available to what we call canary users, okay? And that's internal users at Marfeel. And in case that you really want to have this and put your hands on it and help us evolve and I don't know, find how to fine tune it, let us know and we will enable it for your user. So you can have it as soon as next week, probably.
Can you show us how to create quickly a custom editorial insight?
Yeah, so what I have right now in production is you go into organization settings and say insights. And here you can turn on and off, and also you can create yours. Okay, for the time being and internally, those are descriptive. And what the only thing that we are going to be doing is tagging them. And when you create a new one, what you will be able to come here is just click on the bulb and add an editorial insight. And you will be able to add any of the ones that you have there listed, and that's going to tag your articles. Again, there is right now no mechanism to create your own logic unless you use the API. But the API is going to follow exactly the same. What the API is doing is just assigning the appropriate tag into an article, and that's going to loop in the entire workflow and the task management.
Okay, so I have multiple domains on my account. Are the insight based on the performance of the whole account, to the section the article belong to, or to the specific domain?
Actually, this is a really good question. No, we make the insights are per section, host, and author. Okay, so basically, there is a model just computing the percentiles and the expected behavior of an article on a section, domain, and author level. And whenever there is like a deviation that is not expected from the median, is when things are triggered. So we understand that, for example, it's not the same sports sections to a politics or economic section to an opinion section. So the expected distribution, the expected behavior is not the same. And it's not the same if I'm an SEO editor compared to an opinion editor. All this is good.
Okay. Can insight be filtered by authors?
Yes. So by the way, so the insights can be filtered. So you can go into insights and, for example, it's like, hey, I want to see all the recommendations or all the insights about closing an article. So I can click here. That is a tag. You see insights equals close to all users. And this shows me the articles that have been tagged with this. So this works perfectly. And obviously now you can go and say, hey, by author, I'm going to filter by Sylvia. I'm not sure if that's going to bring me any result, but yeah, Sylvia has got 2 recommendations to close her articles, and that's it. So again, remember, we are a real data warehouse, and we can cross-link a lot of information.
Excellent. And that was the last question, giving the team a second if they can resurface more, or we are good to go because we are already over time.
Yeah, we are over time. Okay, so yeah, let's do any further question over chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Folks, if you have any questions you want to ask, we have our chat open. So log into your Marfeel account and come here to ask your question. We'll be more than happy to answer. We have the team here just ready to answer all of your questions. Thank you, Xavi, for this 4th one.
Been a pleasure.
It was great. Thank you, all of you, to stay and to come today. We will see you very, very soon. As you can hear, there is more webinars coming, more information coming, and more little Christmas present before Christmas coming your way, hopefully. So thank you so much, and see you very, very soon. Thanks, Xavi.
Thank you.